And to my viewers, those of you who are faithful to this channel, I welcome you again on the 24th of February 2025. I say 2025, 24th of February 2025. Why is this day special? Why is this day special? I say special because it is today that the US and the Democratic Republic of Congo signed what they have called the Mineral for Peace Initiative Agreement. Mineral for Peace Initiative Agreement. We have learned the president of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Felix Tshisekedi, has signed an agreement with the US to bring peace in the DRC in exchange for strategic minerals in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I told you in my videos before that you would know. If you haven't watched my videos, please go back and listen to them, watch them. What is happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo is so deep, it is interwoven in all the aspects of the country, the security. It runs so deep that I don't know where to start within this short video to tell you everything that there is to know about what is happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo. I keep saying over and over again that what is happening in the Congo, don't look at Nanga. Nanga is nothing. The so-called leader of the M23, this Congolese guy called Nanga, is nothing. First of all, Nanga is not even the leader of the M23. Nanga is the leader of the AFC, which is basically a new, if you like, a new kind of rebel group that is now in coalition with the M23. But Nanga himself is not also the leader of the AFC. The leader of the AFC is Joseph Kabila. Joseph Kabila is Tshisekedi's predecessor. And again, if you watch my video, I keep insisting on this fact because as this unfolds, you will understand a lot of things that is happening in the DRC with the regional neighbors and the geopolitical situation in that part of Africa. Now, because Joseph Kabila is the one who owns AFC, and to some degree, Kabila is also linked with the M23 because the boss of the M23's name is Paul Kagame. And Kabila's boss is Paul Kagame. He did everything he could to put Kabila in power. And this we have learned from a member of parliament in Belgium who said he, in front of his other members of parliament, he articulated in the words, he said that Kabila was chosen to replace the Laurent Désiré Kabila because he was not Congolese, and the EU knew and the US knew that if they find a nationalist to take over that country, he would not obey them. So they need to get somebody who is not Congolese, that they would manipulate them so that they can get what they wanted from the DRC. So now, here's the situation. The deal is this. Now, the US, the international communities are behind Kagame. So they've been obviously looting the country behind Kagame because Kagame was their frontman. So here's how it happens. AFC is the leader of the AFC is Nanga. Nanga is now in coalition with the M23, and so Nanga he's owned by Joseph Kabila. Joseph Kabila is owned by Kagame. Kagame is owned by the international community, the EU and the US. He does all this dirty work for them, for Britain, for Canada, for France, and the US. Now, knowing this, President Tshisekedi understands well because he knows that what is at stake here is this country being divided. And he knows that the battle, the fight that is happening is for minerals. And Kagame is only a puppet that is being used by the international community and the EU and the US and Britain and all of this so that he can actually do the killings here. So, what he has decided to do, and you have to think as a president, as a leader, you have to make a decision. When he came into power, President Felix was he said that he wanted to do a business deal that is win-win for so the country can benefit from its natural minerals and strategic minerals that the country has. So this is what has actually caused problem with Kagame because Kagame didn't have a free hand in the resources of the Democratic Republic of Congo anymore as much as he used to have when Kabila was in power. Because Kabila was his pal, he was his boss. Kabila was there because Kagame put him there so he couldn't tell him off. So what has actually happened is that when Felix Tshisekedi came into power, he said no to Kagame, so he couldn't get the minerals as much as he wanted to, and so now he is doing everything so he can basically move the part the if you like the he wants to change the circumstances in DRC so he can have the rights to go in and take minerals. Now Tshisekedi has gone to Kagame's boss, and he says to the boss, he says, "Listen, I'm going to give you what you are looking for. Stop using that man Kagame to kill my people. You come and take the minerals straight and directly from the DRC. We make a deal. Let's cut Kagame out. Let's take out Kagame. Let's take out the M23. Let's take out Joseph Kabila. You just come." So now a deal is now signed on the 24th of February with the US so that it has now access to the mineral wealth of the Democratic Republic of Congo. As I said, as I'm saying this, I feel bad. I feel that all these things that is happening here, and you understand that it is what it is, and no government gets involved in a fight for nothing. It's not through for the sake of, it's not because they love the people there, it's not because they want to stop the killing there, it's because of interest. The fighting, the wars and everything is being fought because of interest. Now if the US funds its interest, he looks between Felix Tshisekedi and Kagame, who's going to give the most, who's going to give from whom is the US going to get the most? So they said, okay, so the deal that Felix Tshisekedi gives them now gives them access to the country's natural resources and the wealth of it. And so they said, brilliant. Now we're going to tell this Kagame to basically go away and to bugger off, to leave the Democratic Republic of Congo alone. So now, as I'm speaking to you, Kagame is in a very bad state because he knows that he is no longer going to be allowed in the DRC and to do the work that he's been doing in the past in the past 4 weeks and doing all the killings because they've cut him out basically. So the US, they're going to give him instructions, hey, Kagame, stop and get out, take all your soldiers out, and nobody is allowed to go in the DRC. So this is the price now that Felix is going to pay in order to bring peace in that region. And as you are listening to me, I will be informing you so you can understand that in a very short amount of time here, you will hear that the M23 has withdrawn its troops and they have left the Democratic Republic of Congo. And the fighting in that region would stop because a deal has been reached with the US. Now, if you look at this, you will understand how the US basically does its business. So as I'm saying this, I want you to know that the US was behind this all along because the US was using Kagame to do the work in the DRC so it can actually get wealth from Kagame, from Kigali. But now they don't have to use him anymore. They can just go directly to the DRC and take. This is the reason for Minerals for Peace initiative in the DRC, which was signed today. And you will see how things will rapidly change. And Kagame cannot stomach this. Where he is at the moment, he is sick and he knows that he is going to be out of the picture and he's not going to be able to do what he has planned to do all along. And this is very bad news for Kagame. And this is good news for the DRC. At some point, as a leader, you need to make decisions. And this is what President Tshisekedi has also made this decision. And I tell you, he is now going to stay in. It's not just about for him to stay in power. The people will stop dying. But as I say this, it does not mean that the door is wide open. Just come and take as much as you like. No, there is a deal is on the table that they will obviously negotiate a good deal for them in order to buy at the rate or at the price that is more or better than what they were getting from the other side. Now Kagame has no job, and apparently he's been um, flown out of the country for medical reasons. Now, maybe this has to do with this that he cannot stomach what has happened because he knows he's lost in this fight. It's a terrible, terrible thing, and you can just the fact that the U.S. sanction. James Kabarebe, it's a signal and it tells you that there is more to come. And Kagame is going to have to watch his steps if he doesn't want to anger Washington. And this is how it is all played at this level. And Britain as well, Great Britain is also putting mounting pressure on Kagame to back off. And this Kagame can't get away with it. He is not. He must and will surrender to his bosses. His bosses are telling him it's time to stop what you're doing for us right now. And this is what I wanted to bring to you. I'll bring more as things unfold. Many thanks.